evening and welcome aboard. Tonight's excursion into the desert outskirts of Nightfall depicts some of the greatest moments of Hollywood horror. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping arms and legs inside the train car at all times. Now, settle in and try to relax as we embark on our journey. All aboard! Oh, what is it that makes us enjoy the chill of a good horror movie? Perhaps a story that is unsettling in nature. A story designed to frighten and panic. A story that invokes our hidden worst fears. There are countless answers to the question, and we have loved the genre for over a century. The earliest of horror films were developed from folk tales and novels during the silent film era, such as the 1922 Dracula adaptation, Nosferatu, a symphony of horror. For vampire Count Orlok, it was a bloody good time. The definitive combination of science fiction and gothic horror during the 1930s spawned a major career for actor Boris Karloff in his poignant portrayal of Frankenstein, a monster science created but could not destroy. One of the best-known horror directors of all time has to be Alfred Hitchcock, exploring the themes of naturalistic horror, man versus nature, and the monk. His masterpiece, The Birds, terrified audiences in 1963 with suspense and shock beyond anything seen before on the silver screen. Oh, could it be? Yes, it is. It's that famous flying monster from A Lost Age, the creature from the Black Lagoon. This film was so popular that theaters were swamped. We have long been fascinated with stories of the walking dead, as in this next 1932 classic, when actor Boris Karloff became wrapped up in his role as the mummy. Some of the best horror is that which can be found in the dark shadows of the human soul itself. Case in point, a 1960 film release that really took a stab at a memorable shower scene. The director was none other than Alfred Hitchcock, and the film was Psycho. We continue now into the night to see what lies further down the tracks. Many of our nightmares deal with fears of death and dismemberment, often at the hands of a madman. But what about a brilliant and respected psychiatrist turned infamous psychopathic serial killer? Say hello to the Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter. May the silence be broken. Speaking of cannibals, in 1977, master of horror Wes Craven took us to a former nuclear testing site in the deserts of New Mexico for the chilling tale of The Hills of Eyes. And who could forget Clive Barker's 1987 graphically grisly Elders, featuring the unmistakable even to some, angel to others, ill-teared off. The year 1968 would unveil a milestone splatter film that has since become a cult classic. The plot was simple: newly dead, stumbling corpses in a relentless search for the meat of mankind. It was master of the zombie film George Romero's low-budget black and white directorial debut of Night of the Living Dead. They're coming to get you. The diabolical presence of evil has forever fueled our fears of the unknown. And in 2001, director Victor Salva brought us the horrifying story of an ancient demon known as the Creeper. His mission, regeneration through feeding on human flesh. He's watching. He's waiting. He's hungry. Jeepers Creepers. In 1999, a famous and legendary fable was updated and retold for the big screen. The story, first published in 1820 by Washington Irving, centered on investigations of murder in a small American village in 1799. Imaginative director Tim Burton unveiled a ghastly horseman who really wanted to get ahead of the crowd in Sleepy Hollow. Sequels are common in the terrifying realm of horror. Influential directors have made the modern slasher movie big business over the last few decades. Directors like John Carpenter and Wes Craven, who effectively familiarized us with murderous, iconic characters that have kept us coming back for more. Michael Myers from the 1978 classic Halloween has inspired a total of 10 films. The ghost-faced killer from The Scream movies will have a fourth installment released next year. And who could forget Jason Voorhees from the 1980s Friday the 13th with an astonishing 12 sequels. Then there was the Lakeshore Strangler who was put to death and later returned as Chucky, Child's Play. You'll wish it was only make-believe. And what about Phobias? It was 1990 and audiences cringed as they watched Arachnophobia. It has been said that in your sleep is the best way to die. But as we learned in 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, that isn't necessarily true, because that is when Freddy Krueger will strike. During your dreams, whatever you do, don't fall asleep. One of the most effective box office successes of the 1970s featured a chainsaw-wielding, human skin mask-wearing lunatic known only as Leatherface. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Perhaps the most ghoulish part of this movie is that the story is true. As we make our way back into the station, please wait for the train to come to a complete stop before exiting. And remember to watch your heads as the roofs are quite low. Thank you for riding and enjoy the rest of your stay here at Nightfall.